Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? Now we have to do question number 5, part B. Okay. According to the question, it is given that if y is directly proportional to x, complete the table. We have to use the same method as we have done already. I think so now all of you are familiar with this method, that first you have to write the first variable in the first place. Okay. I have to write it for you. Just wait. Okay. So I have to write it, which variable is given here in the first place, y. So you have to write y is equal to, instead of writing directly proportional, which letter of alphabet you have to use? K, small k. So y is equal to small k, and which variable is here in the end? X. So you have to write this equation this way, okay? From the table, you have to find that value where x and y both values are given. So you have to take the second value. Here x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 3.6. So this means where you have to write in this way, that instead of writing y, you have to write 3.6, and instead of writing x with a bracket, you have to write 3. Okay. So as you know that bracket means to divide, to multiply, and when we have to move toward that side, it will be divide. Bracket means to multiply, and when we have to move that multiplication sign toward that side, it will divide. Okay. So in this way, we will get the value of k, and very easy. I think so you know 1.2 is the value of 4k. This value of k shows the change of in which proportion the other variable will be changed. This means by changing the changing means either x is increasing or decreasing. This change by for the change in x, y changes 1.2 times. Getting my point? So this case shows the proportion of the change of y. Okay, now we are able to complete the table. So for completing the table, first we have to connect these two variable x and y, and we have to connect with the value of x, k, and that is 1.2. Okay. So y is equal to 1/2x. So we, in the first place, the value of x is given, that is 2. So instead of writing x, here you have to write its value, that is 2. So you have to write this 2 here, and then simply multiply, and you will get your answer 2.4. Okay. And then you have to put this 2.4 here in the table. This is the way to write it here on the table here. I have to write it for you. 2.4. Wait. Here I have to write 2.4. Clear? So this is the way for writing. Now we come to the next part. For coming to the next part. Okay. First, just wait. Okay. Now we comes to the next part. For next part here, the value of x is 5.5. Okay. And we have to put this 5.5 here in this equation. So comes to, first I have to change the color. Change the color so it becomes easier for you to identify. Okay. So I have to change, first I have to change the color. Just 1 minute. It's not changed. I don't think so. Why it won't change? Okay, first I have to write it here. Now I have to change the color. Okay. Yes. Now I have to again write this equation. Y is equal to 1.2 x, and here what is the value of x is given? 5.5. So y is equal to 1.2. You have to multiply with it 5.5. Okay, and then you will get your answer. 1.2 multiplied by 5.5. Okay, now we have to do it for you yourself. Okay, just calculate these two. 1.2 multiplied by 5.5. The answer is 6.6. 6.6. And then I have to write it here. Okay. Write it here in the table. So I have to write 6.6 here. Now we move toward the next. And again, for the next part, always remember for the next part, first I have to again rewrite the equation. That is y is equal to, yes, y is equal to what? Y is equal to 1.2, and then you have to write x. First, I have to change the color. So, okay, I have to change the color. Now, look here. Now, y value is given. That is 9.6. So, instead of writing y, you have to write 9.6 is equal to 1.2, and then you have to write x, because we want the value of x. So simply, what should you do here? You just divide 9.6 divided by, okay, 1.2, and after division you will get the value of x very easily. Okay, so please help me divide 9.6 with 1.2. I think so. And 9.6 divided by 1.2, and the answer is 8. Okay, so 8 is equal to x. Getting my point? So you have to write this 8 here in the table. So you have to write 8. Now we move toward the last part of this table. Very easy. Now the value of y is given, that is 11.4. Again, you have to write the equation. So y is equal to 1.2 x, and next, what is the value of y? That is given in the question, that is 11.4, and it is equal to 1.2 x. Simply the same method we have to do. 11.4 divided by 1.2, and that is equal to x. And in the finally, we have to get the value of x by dividing. These two things we have to divide. We have to divide 11.4 divided by 1.2. Okay. And we will get 9.5. So 9.5 is equal to x, and we have to put it here in the table. 9.5. So that is question number 5 part B. I think so it is clear how you have to fill the table. Okay. Now we move towards the next question, that is question number 6. Okay. Yes. That is question number 6. And wait, just I have to remove all that in this question solution. Just give me a few seconds. I just want to remove. Okay. Okay. Now we move towards the question. Okay. Look here, look at the question. Very easy. It is given if y is directly proportional to x. Okay. And the value is given y is equal to 20, x is equal to 5. You have find an equation connecting and x and y. The same way you have to do. Okay. For your convenience, I have to rewrite it here. Otherwise, a solution is given in the here in the solution portion. I have already given the solution, but for your convenience, I have to rewrite it again. Okay, I have to rewrite it for your convenience. So in the first place, you have to write y is equal to, for directive portion, you have to use k, and then you have to write x. Getting my point? Value of y is given. What is the value of y? That is 20. 20 is given. You have to write 20 is equal to k. And instead of writing x within a bracket, you have to write its value. What is the value given in the question? 5. Clear? Now simply you divide 20 by 5. And what will be your answer? Yes, what will be your answer? 5. 20 divided by 5. What will be your answer? 4 is your answer. 4 is equal to x. So we have to connect. They are saying you have to connect. Find an equation connecting x and y. So how we have to connect? We are just write y is equal to 4x. This means the change in y is 4 times of x. Getting my point? Okay. The second part is very much important. They are saying draw the graph of y against x. You have to draw the graph against x, and for drawing a graph, it is very much necessary that first you have to draw a table. Okay, for drawing a table, wait, what should you do? Here you have to insert a table. Okay, and for you have to write the value for y and x. First you have to write the value of x, and then you have to write the value for y. Okay, first I have to take the value for x is equal to 0. Okay, just give me 1 second. Just 1 second, I have to write it for you. Okay, first you have to write the value for x is equal to 0, and then you have to write the value for x is equal to 2. You can take any value. You can take x is equal to 0 or 1 or 0, 2. This depends upon you. You can take any of the value. And you have to put it here in this equation. Where you have to put x is equal to 0. Obviously, for 0 times 0, y is also equal to 0. Getting my point? When x is equal to 0, y is also equal to 0. And when x is equal to 2, what is the value of y? It is equal to 4 times 8. You can take 1 also. Okay, I have to take 1 for 2. You can take any one of them. Suppose if x is equal to 1, what is the value for y? It is equal to 4. This is called the table. I think so it is clear to all of you. Okay. I have to draw a table for you. So it becomes easier to understand. Okay. Just. So I have to draw a table for you. This is a table. Okay. Just few seconds. Now we have to draw a line between the tables, so it becomes more easier. Just okay. Just need a second. Okay. I have to draw a line between the table so that just So these are the lines. When x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. When x is equal to 1, y is equal to 4. When x is equal to 2, y is equal to 8. Okay. So now how we have to draw a graph? We have already learned in previous class. In Cartesian plane, you have x-axis. The horizontal line is called x-axis and the vertical line is called y-axis. So this horizontal line is your x-axis. I have to draw a line for you so it becomes easier to understand the x-axis. This red line is your x-axis. I have to change the color for drawing the y-axis. So this vertical line is your, this vertical line. Okay. This vertical line is your y-axis. This vertical line is your y-axis. Okay. This red line is your x-axis. The pink line is your y-axis. Okay. When x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, this means in the origin you have to put a dot. Then when x is equal to 1, y is equal to 4. Look here you have to take 4, 4. In y-axis, you have to take 0, 4, 8. And here in x-axis, you have to take 0, 1, and 2. You can take the scale according to your need. Okay. I have to write it for you also. So it becomes easier to understand how you have to take the scale. Look here, I have to draw a scale for you. Just 1 second. I have to write a scale. Always remember, whenever you draw a graph, you must remember the scale. Okay. For x-axis, how you have to take? You have to take the difference of 1 unit. Okay. And for y-axis, you have to take 4 units. Y-axis, you have to take 4 units. Now, is it clear? Now, this is 0, then 1. Okay, I have to write it for you 1 here. This one is 1. 1. And here, this one is your 4. This is your 4. Okay. 0, 4, and 8. Then here 0, 1, and 2. Now look here. 1 is here in the center. Just wait. Here in the center. Okay. In the center. This one is 1. This I have to erase that one. Okay, just look here. Here I have to write the 1 in the center. 1. Okay. This one is 0, 1, and 2. Here you have 0, 4, and 8. Okay. In first you have to put the dot here 0 and 0, then 1 and 4, then you have to take 2 and 8. And then you, from the origin, you have to draw a long line. That line represent the graph of y against x. This means a change in x, the change in y is 4 times. Getting my point? So this, okay, I have to draw this graph also. You should just change the color so it becomes easier. For x-axis, I use red color. For y-axis, I use pink color. And for drawing a graph, I have to use yellow color. Okay. Draw a graph passing through the origin. Oh, this one is again the pink color. Okay, I have to change. Just give me this. Just give me a second. I have to change the color. Okay, I have to change the color. Okay. Now I have to draw the graph passing through the center. I use red, yellow color. I have to wait. I draw a graph using yellow color, so it becomes easier to understand. Okay. Here from the center, from the origin, I have to draw this line. Okay. This one is a origin. From the origin, I have to draw this line, that yellow line. It passes through the origin. Look here. Is it visible? So this is all about question number 6. I think so this is clear to all of you. Now we move towards the next question. But before moving towards the next question, any confusion related to graph? Okay, I have to recap. First, for making a graph, you have to draw a table. You can put any value for x, and for any value of x, the change in y is 4 times. How we came to know that change in y is 4 times? By seeing the value of k, because the k is equal to 4. This shows, this one is k, not x. The k shows the change in x, okay? The change in y. So this one is k, not getting my point. So k is equal to 4. This means the change in y depends upon the value of k. I have to rewrite it again for you. Look here. Let's change the color. Okay, I just rewrite for you. Y is equal to 4x. This means the change in y depends upon 4 times x. Look here, when x is equal to 0, obviously, then y is equal to also, because we start from the origin. Then when x is equal to 1, y is equal to 4. When x is equal to 2, y is equal to 8. So the change in y, the increase, x is increasing, y is also increasing, but the increase in y depends upon this, the value of k. Is it clear? Okay, this is all for today. So Allah Hafiz.